I want to spill some tea.
Okay.
It's gonna be juicy.
Oh. Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Hi guys!
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the SaVeg podcast.
How it be?
Be fantastic as hell.
How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I was saying to Rose, we were just walking. We both did a little fitness class before this.
Of course. We are so fucking fit.
Working on our fitness.
Okay, why are we not like, having six-pack abs?
I know. I was like, okay, we did a massive hike on Saturday of like a huge hike. And then fitness class on Sunday, fitness class Mondays.
You know what? It's just, we're doing the best we can.
I know.
It's because we drink. Okay?
Yeah, it is. It's our lifestyle, and it's like, it's balanced.
But we don't drink. No, we do drink a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But you know what? We like it. The thing is, this shows, also the people that have very, very nice bodies, it's like genetics, and they have very good discipline. Like some of them don't drink at all, you know? I don't want that laugh.
I know. Well, we had friends of ours actually that were like super into CrossFit and stuff.
Yes.
Super fit. Like
so fit.
Yeah.
Like they look very good.
Yeah, they look amazing. Like six-pack abs, fucking huge arms, like everything, you know? And but they didn't really drink. They're
very disciplined.
Super disciplined.
And they meal prep like every week.
I know. It's funny because they got engaged, and I was like, oh my God. I know. I was like, congratulations. I was like, come on, guys. I want to take you out for some drinks.
And they didn't drink at all.
They did have like half a beer each.
Oh my God, because they one of them I knew one of them for a long time.
Yeah.
And he used to drink when we were much younger.
Yeah.
And then I think as we got older, they just got more and more into, he was always into CrossFit.
Yeah.
But he got more and more into it. And then now they're, very clean lifestyle.
It's true. But
to each his own.
You have to admit though, some of it is genetics. Cause like.
Oh, 100%.
Like even if
a lot of it.
Like I'm sure if I was as disciplined as he was.
Yes.
I would have a really good body, but
yes.
I don't think it would be very hard for me to get as jacked as he was.
Definitely. A lot of it is genetics.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why you can't compare yourself to models or something.
Exactly.
Because a lot of it is genetics. The ability to build muscle is very genetic. Like some people, they try so hard.
Yeah.
They try to eat so much and then they just can't. And some people are just like,
Or like some of our friends that are like, oh, I gained a bit of weight, so I decided to work out for like 2 days and like lost it all. I was like, are you fucking kidding
me? Can I just
say
can I say this? It's the black gene.
Oh God.
I'm telling you, they have a superior gene. Like a physical superior. Like, I'm sorry. Am I wrong, guys?
Well, this is the thing. The friend that I was talking about as well,
we're both talking about
he's also black.
And I'm not discounting any of their effort. And of course, just because you're black doesn't mean you're gonna have a nice body.
Exactly.
But I do think a lot of black people have very good bodies.
Like amazing.
And it's like a genetic, gift.
I know.
And also they're very tall. That's why they're all in the NBA.
I know, they're tall. They have really nice bodies.
Am I being politically incorrect here?
I don't know. I think we're being a little bit too
stereotyping.
Un-PC. Is that the right word?
I don't know. This is like a compliment to them.
Yeah.
It's like Asians being, good at math or something.
It is. I mean,
but then some people say it's not good to compliment people
based on
race.
Gender, race. Yeah.
Because if they're not like that, then it becomes, But of course, not every Asian person is good at math, and not every black person has a really nice body.
Yeah.
But I think in a general scale, Beyonce, look at her, look at Beyonce.
Okay, but she's also like a celebrity.
I know, but there's a lot of people that have very nice bodies that happen to be black. I mean, and also like Asians, we have very different bodies. So again, we can't compare. This is what I'm saying. We can't compare.
Exactly.
There's genetic differences. There's also racial differences. Like if you look at Asian bodies, we have very little curves, right? So it's like the whole like voluptuous thing. It's just like not really common in Korea or Asia.
Yeah, although there is some Asian girls that have that are naturally very curvy.
Of course, right? But not never as much as black girls.
True.
Okay, we're never gonna have what black girls have. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what? It's fine because, again, we're all very different. And
the world would be a boring place if everyone was the same.
Exactly.
That's what I always think to myself.
Exactly. So it's interesting. But I've always been like, oh, goddamn, what would it be like to have such a big ass and big boobs? I would never know.
And small waist.
And small waist. Fuck you all.
I know.
I hate everybody.
I know. I do. Like, honestly.
It's so not fair.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I remember one time, okay, like, I went houseboating, like this was like years ago with like a bunch of friends. And I remember some of the guys that were on the houseboat next to us. Like, there's like this houseboat that was next to us.
Was it the houseboat of hotties?
Yeah, there was a houseboat of hotties. And all of them had like fucking ridiculous bodies, all like six packs and shit. And I'm just like, who are you people? Like, who the and they were all drinking heavily.
I mean, but we don't know how they are in
normal life,
day-to-day life.
Yeah, that's true. That's like one of my colleagues from London. He said like he did this like crazy diet. He was going to Vegas with some friends. So like up until like going to Vegas for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Oh, 4 or 5 months. That's dedication.
I think it was like that long. He went on like some, not that I'm recommending this at all, guys.
No.
He went on some crazy diet, was like hitting the gym like insane and like stopped drinking pretty much the whole time.
Wow. That's not sustainable.
And got shredded. Like,
of course.
Literally. So then when he went to Vegas, he was just like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go into pool parties, looking fucking hot as hell. And he's never been that shredded ever again.
Yeah.
But he was like, I was worth it for that time in Vegas. And I was like, was it though?
I guess I can't believe he did all that just for that Vegas trip.
I know.
I mean, was it just for that Vegas trip?
I don't know.
Because, like, I mean, to be fair, I did crash diet for Vegas. Fucking Vegas. You toxic. Okay, I did crash diet for Vegas as well.
You know, one of us hasn't been to Vegas.
You haven't.
I never have.
I know. You got to go, Daniels. It's an adult Disneyland, as I like to call it.
Maybe I'll go next year.
I wonder what it's... You know what? I bet you it's crazy for the gays. There's probably some, like, crazy gay scene.
There probably is.
I don't know it. I'm only familiar with straight Vegas.
Yeah. I need to make some more gay friends that will go on a trip with me, you know?
I think you do. Like, you need to have, like, a gay, like, crew.
Yeah. So that I can go on, like, trips with them. And,
and do gay things
live
together.
live our best gay lives.
Yes.
Have a little gay adventure.
Yeah, because, like, the straights, we don't know anything, okay?
Well, actually, I have a funny story about this.
What?
So, guys, it's story time right now. I'm going to drop a little story. This was not on purpose, by the way. Both incidents.
Do I know this?
No, I don't think. I might have told you. So one of my friends lives in Newcastle, and she's lovely, like really sweet and stuff. And she's we've done 2 trips to Spain. So one of them, she came and visited me when I was living there, and another one was before that. So anyway, the first time we go to Barcelona. This was the time that my phone got stolen out of my hand in the street while we were drinking. So I'd had a couple glasses of wine, left this wine bar. My friend was like settling up the bill. She came out and she saw this guy like basically stealing my phone. He ran off. I was really emotional. I was like, hey, let's get fucked up tonight. Like my phone's stolen.
Healthy reaction to any difficult situation.
Exactly. I'm just like, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it now. Unfortunately,
course.
Like it's
great.
in
Love
the
it.
night. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we went to this bar. We met this like group of American guys. There was like 2 American guys and this girl, and we just started chatting with them at this bar. And then they were like, oh, we're going to this like gay club. Do you guys want to come? And I'm like, yes, I want to go.
Have you seen me speak?
Exactly. So we're like, yeah, of course. So we go. So I bring my friend and we get to this bar, and it was like possibly like the seediest bar. Like the bathroom, there was like, everyone was just having sex in the bathroom.
No.
Like, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know how many clubs you've been to where people are having sex in the bathroom.
A lot.
But yeah, so you have to be more specific.
But yeah, so then my friend went to the bathroom, and the hallway to the bathroom was like this narrow corridor with like lots of like corners like this, and in the corners people were like, it was dark.
Was it like yes? You told me this.
Yeah. So then
I think.
So she came out of the bathroom. She's like, "Hey, I'm very uncomfortable here. Like, should we go?" And I was a bit fucked up at this point, but then I was like, "Yeah, let's go." So we ended up like we stayed for a bit longer, but then we left.
Oh, okay.
So that was that story.
That wasn't your scene. No. You were like, no.
Well,
okay.
I mean, I was still having a good time. Like, if people want to fuck in the bathroom, like, go for it. Like, whatever.
But it was like too much.
It was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Then separately, she came to visit me when I was living in Murcia.
Yeah.
And one of my friends in the city, she was also a teacher at the time. She got a recommendation from one of the other teachers for a gay bar in the city for us all to go to. So we're like, hey, let's go. Like, this is gonna be amazing. Like, whatever. It was even worse than the one in Barcelona.
No.
Yeah. And my friend
in Murcia.
Yeah. And my friend was like, I am never trusting you. And I was like, I swear to God, both times it was not my fault. Like, there were recommendations from other people.
I thought you were going to say that you ran into the same people in Murcia, but I guess not.
No.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy.
I mean, to be honest, like, you meet people traveling and like on an off whim like that, I probably wouldn't even know if they bumped into me.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I didn't travel with them. It's just
Yeah.
like a one-off, like, hey, we just partied together, you know?
Yeah. So Mercy also has a crazy gay scene.
Oh my God. Well, I don't think it's that big. It's like a very small town, but like, or small city, but it was just like
people were fucking
it was intense.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Goddamn, guys.
And it was, people were smoking in there. Like, it was a very strange place. Yeah.
So like, seriously, I feel like Vegas, if anybody knows about the gay scene in Vegas, do comment down below because I want to know.
Yeah. Oh God.
I feel like it's crazy.
I know that there's a really famous drag queen that was on RuPaul's Drag Race that performs there.
Oh, yes. See, there's going to be some crazy. Oh, yes.
He was on the season with Kimchi.
Oh, goddamn. I love that season. I think that'd be my first season I watched. Actually, I didn't really like that season now that I think about it.
It's a little slower. There's better seasons.
Yeah, but that was the first season I watched, so I remember.
And I love Kimchi, so I think that's
Kimchi is so cute.
Yeah.
And like the makeup and shit, crazy.
So crazy.
Anyways, oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, guys, by the way, Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, guys.
So we didn't do our little like spiel because I guess we just got into talking. Yeah. But if you guys don't know, of course, you need to join our Patreon to get each episode a week earlier than everyone else. So that's more timely. And you get a bonus episode every single month. And this month.
What are we going to be talking about, Rose?
I want to spill some tea.
Okay.
It's gonna be juicy.
Oh,
guys, oh, right, Daniel.
The juice.
The tea is steaming.
What is the expression? Like the juice is worth the squeeze or something? I can't remember, but I think that's more of like you're trying to date somebody. You're like the juice is worth the squeeze. I think I could be wrong, guys, but anyway, this tea is juicy and it is
worth a squeeze.
Oh, it's worth a couple squeezes. Let me tell you.
It may be about. Should I say it? It's about. It's quite. Is it personal? Is it professional?
I don't know.
It's regarding hiring people. No, that's very vague.
That is vague.
It's about an assistant that I had. I will not say when.
Yeah.
And it's no one that you've seen.
Yes.
So it's no one that you've seen before on my YouTube or anything like that. And there's some tea.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna, maybe trickle into other employees I've hired that may have not been.
Oh God.
Guys. The tea is steaming.
Yes.
Okay. The tea is hot. So if you guys don't want to miss this one, okay, this is the Freely Video 2.0.
Oh yeah. And for those of you that aren't subscribed to the Patreon, you missed out because you should go there. You can still check out the Freely video. You can check out
all of the old bonus episodes, and we did an episode. If you guys don't know, me basically reacting to Freely the Banana Girl talking about me.
Yeah.
And it is gold.
Yeah. And it was like, and Rose hadn't seen the video up to that point. Yeah. So it was like literally you get her live reaction as Freely was talking about Rose.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. Yeah. And also you can check out all of the other previous bonus episodes that are only available for the patrons.
Exactly.
So check it out, you guys. It is patreon.com/The SaVeg Podcast.
Yep.
Link is in the show notes and the description. And should we jump right in after this very long conversation?
I know we had a little story time, everything. I think.
How long it be? 12 minutes?
Oh, God damn,
that's not
Roses.
Too bad.
No, and one other point that I want to say before we jump into stories, guys. Can summer please just stay here forever?
Oh my God, I love summer so much. And I'm obsessed.
I know, me too. Like even
every day I'm just like happier.
Oh, it's so nice. Like even today, I was tired. I met up with Rose after her gym class and we were like walking and just the heat
just the and ambiance.
the je ne sais quoi.
It is so nice, okay?
Like honestly, Calgary's actually nice in the summer.
Oh my God, I actually love Calgary in the summer. It is very, very nice, and it's actually kind of lively. Like,
yeah, there's things going on.
It's not so bad.
It's a Tuesday. And look at the places we're bumping.
I know, people there are people, and I heard, I don't know, maybe this is just me being hopeful, but I heard that more people are moving here because Vancouver and Toronto are too expensive.
So all you single guys watching the podcast, oh hi there.
If you want to move here and talk to me.
And me.
Or Daniel, depending on which way you swing.
Depending on which your preferences are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know because...
Goddamn, we're so thirsty, Rose.
Oh my God, I'm like... Okay.
I like that we're like announcing on the podcast. We're like, hey guys, if you're
we're
moving
like trying
here.
to like... We're trying to pull people from the podcast.
Come on.
You know our audience is like 90% female, right?
I do know that. Yeah, we love you guys anyway.
We love you all.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are moving to Calgary because...
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of like a story. Like because we were talking about this.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of this like crazy rental crisis?
Yeah, like what's going on?
What is happening to this world? Okay, first of all, I keep hearing that it's really, really hard. Like, first of all, I know that in Calgary, the rent prices are going up.
Yeah.
And I don't really know exactly why. I guess that means there are more people renting.
Yeah.
But I'm also confused.
Yeah, typically the rent should go up if there's like not enough supply. So there's not enough rental units and there's more people that need them, then the rent's going to naturally go up because there's going to be competition, right?
Yes.
Because like if there's only one house and me and you are competing against
exactly.
the price is going to go
Supply
up.
and demand.
Exactly.
So apparently the rent prices have gone up quite a bit compared to like last year. This is what's crazy to me. Literally just last year, not even like when I was looking for a place to buy, the rent was not that bad.
Yeah.
So I could have rented, but then apparently in less than a year, it's completely shifted and changed. And what I'm hearing is that in places like London, UK, for example, and also Toronto, let me know, guys, if you live in Toronto or London or anywhere. Yeah. It is so crazy to try to rent a place that people are literally, first of all, not only like outbidding what the initial offer was, but people are paying their rent a year in advance, an entire year's worth of rent before they even move in.
That's crazy. Like that fucking blows my mind.
I saw this TikTok of this girl that was like she was in London. She's like, basically, this new place came out on the market not very long. And then they already had like 4 or 5 different offers, all like overbidding. And then the person that got the offer was someone that overbid by however much and paid the entire year in advance.
It's crazy.
What the fuck?
I know. I'm almost like,
this is dystopian, dude.
Yeah, like it's actually insane. Like I mean, I just can't believe it.
There's I'm sorry. I'm moving out of London if that's situation.
Oh yeah, if they were like,
no way in fucking hell.
You have to pay a year in advance. Like hell no. Like that's like it. Like even just thinking back to what I was paying in London. Yeah. So I was paying close to like almost £1,000 a month. That would be £12,000 I would have to pay. Like what is that in Canadian dollars? Like 20 grand.
Like 20 something grand. Yeah, probably 20 grand.
Oh,
it's crazy. I know. It's insane.
Can't. I'm like okay. Like I just
Anyways, so it's crazy. Apparently people have, money to just pay.
But I don't think most people do. And this is where
most people don't.
This is where it gets interesting because, like, for example, I was doing some of my own market research, which Rose didn't agree with me. And I also think that it's probably not the best we were talking about this
when we were walking outside.
Yeah, I was like looking at some of the rental buildings, like my old place that I was renting and stuff like that, and like so many of the balconies were like empty. So I was like, oh, that unit must be vacant. That unit must be vacant.
Look how empty the balconies are. It must mean that half those units are vacant.
Which probably is not true.
I was like, Daniel, I get some of them might be for sure, but some people just don't put things on their balcony.
That's very true. So
it's not really,
it's not a good
it's
interpretation.
Andrew Tate style research.
Exactly. But this is where it becomes hard with these kind of like, I guess like what would they be called? Like a mega economic thing that's happening. Like the rent's going up because we're so disconnected from it. It's like for example when they were like, oh, the mortgage rates are going up, like in Canada. This is just another example. And they're saying, oh, there's a lot of people that are on the precipice of forfeiting, for example, of their house. But it's like we're disconnected because like maybe we don't see that in our circle, and we're like, how many people are actually at this stage? Or when they say like, oh, the like house prices are going down, but like again, we only see small snippets. Yeah, we don't see the whole like picture.
Macro, the macro.
So it becomes really hard with these huge global, even especially global trends, where it's like it's hard for us to like not even wrap our heads around, but like extrapolate the data. You know? Like I don't know. That's just like my own personal opinion, but like sometimes I'm just like, what I see doesn't match up with what's necessarily happening in the
Sure. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. But unlike Andrew Tate, I'm like, okay, well, they have the statistics to back that up, so I'm not going to use my isolated opinion to say that that's what's happening.
It's like, those balconies are empty. That means this building is not full.
It's 50% vacant. It's 50% vacant.
God, it's vacant
but
as hell.
I think the couple that we walked past that were empty inside.
I mean,
I think we can assume.
If it's empty inside,
unless they're super minimalist.
I mean, there are people like that. Who knows?
Where they literally don't even have a couch.
I mean, who the fuck knows? Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but apparently the rental market's crazy. And yeah. Anyway, should we jump into the stories?
We should. I think, Rose, did you have a story?
Okay, so here's another example of Daniel living under a rock. Although it's probably a good thing because the internet's a horrible place.
It is. And I try to avoid it with all costs.
So the story is, and you haven't heard of Alex Jones.
I bet you if you tell me the story, it's probably going to ring bells.
You're being hopeful there.
I am. Yeah.
So Alex Jones is this, how do I describe him? He's like a talk show host.
Okay.
He has his own talk show, and he basically is like a right wing. I think people call him alt-right, just kind of extreme right wing talk show host and conspiracy theorist.
Oh God.
And basically, he does this talk show where he like talks a lot of shit. And basically, back when Sandy Hook, do you remember Sandy Hook, like the shooting, the school shooting?
Oh yeah.
So this was like an elementary school. I can't remember what year this was, but basically in this elementary school, there was like a big shooting and a lot of kids died. It was very, very dramatic and very sad.
Yeah.
He came on his show and he started spreading this conspiracy that it was all a hoax and that Sandy Hook never happened.
Oh my God.
So he started saying all this shit about how even the parents, because obviously the parents of the kids are like going on TV crying and talking about this issue. And it also brings up the gun violence issue.
Could you imagine if
I know.
you're a parent and your child...
Just wait. It's so bad. So then, I know, it's so bad. So then the parents of these children that got killed are going on TV being like, you know, talking about gun violence and, you know, all the issues that get brought up. And he was like, these parents are paid shills by the whatever conspiracy, by the government, whatever, in order to sell this agenda.
Sell this narrative.
This narrative that gun violence is a problem. That's just the kind of gist. I don't know if I'm saying everything correctly, but essentially he spread this conspiracy that it was a hoax. Yeah. And then that caused, obviously he has a lot of listeners. It's fucking disturbing how many listeners he has.
God, how do these people get these kind of audiences?
It's disturbing. Anyways, he has a lot of listeners. So a lot of them went to like these Sandy Hook victims.
Yeah.
And like, you know, harass them and all this stuff.
Oh my God.
Like not only are they dealing with the death of their child.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. Now they're dealing with all this. So what happened was that the story is they are suing Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, is that his name? Yeah. Now I'm like getting confused. So now the trial is happening at this very moment and it is juicy. So first of all, so basically they're suing him because obviously it's fucked up.
What are they suing him for though? Is it defamation or like not defamation?
There must be some kind of term.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's worth this lawsuit.
No, 100%. Yeah. But I'm just like thinking, I wonder what they're,
let me see
what
if
they're
I can,
trying to,
maybe my phone.
Because like obviously like
right, it's not defamation.
Yeah, because
it could be. Defamation is when you talk about someone's character, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm like thinking. Like, but it's spreading not false truths.
It could be that.
Yeah,
it's like spreading lies.
Yeah,
hold on. Let me find it. Alex Jones lawsuit.
Yeah, because I'd be interested to know just like what because obviously like certain things they have.
It was defamation.
Yeah, I thought so.
So basically, they're saying it does make sense that it could be defamation because he's basically saying that the parents were lying.
Yeah, so it's defamation of character still.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, what happened was, it's fucking insane. So he went through a shit ton of lawyers because he's probably a horrible person to work with. Yeah. Let me show you his picture. Let me know if you find him.
Yeah, let me see what he looked like. Is that him?
Yeah.
Oh goddamn.
Oh god, he'd be an eyesore and a half.
Oh god.
Anyway, and he has this like, oh god, I can't watch. I don't think I've ever actually seen like a full video of him.
Yeah.
Because he has also this like very heavily raspy voice, and he like screams and he's like, I can't even do it.
Oh god.
Anyway.
Ugh.
So
just a horrible person I wouldn't want to meet.
So I don't know how many. I think he has a few lawsuits going on.
Yeah.
So one thing that just happened, and he got a ruling already.
Yeah.
The drama is that his lawyer apparently sent the plaintiff's lawyer. Is that the plaintiff? Yeah. So like Alex Jones' lawyer sent the plaintiff's lawyer all of the transcripts of his phone by accident.
Was there some juicy shit on the transcripts?
So basically, they went through the whole... I don't know when exactly this happened.
Yeah.
But I think they waited a little bit to reveal this information. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
But this is what I heard. I heard that they waited a bit to reveal this information because they had it in their hands, but they wanted to catch him in lies, right? So he basically lied through... Because you're not supposed to lie under oath, technically. Yeah. So he apparently...
Such bullshit, though.
Of course. Everyone does. But if you get caught, that's trouble.
Yeah.
So basically, he was lying under oath, you know, saying all this stuff. I don't know exactly the details.
Yeah.
But basically...
And then he got caught lying under oath.
Exactly. So then the lawyer, there's this... Oh my God, it's actually epic. The lawyer goes, so so then he kind of like shows some kind of like text message, and then Alex Jones, you can kind of like see him kind of freaking out a little bit because he's like, how the fuck does he have this?
Yeah.
And he's like, so you might be wondering how I got this information. Well, your lawyers sent me the entire transcript of your phone records for like how many years?
Yeah.
And then apparently, because I guess you can like accidentally send something, but then you can like send another thing being like, oh, that's like confidential information or whatever. Bring it back. They didn't do, they were like, they had a chance to do that and they didn't. Yeah. They just sat on it.
Yeah.
So now I can use it basically against you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh my God. He's probably so mad at his lawyers.
Dude, can you? And people are saying like, is it really an accident though? Because how can you fuck up that badly?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Are you trying to win? Like, what are you trying to do?
But people do fuck up that badly.
Oh God, can you imagine?
No.
I would I'm sorry. You will never practice again. I will never hire. Who would hire you?
It's crazy.
Who would hire him? Tell me.
No one. Like that is like.
I've never heard of a bigger fuck up in my life.
No.
Like that. Like honestly. Anyway.
It's like when you get those emails. This is like way lesser scale.
Yeah.
But you know when you get those emails and you open it up and then you get another email right after that saying the person's trying to recall the email and I'm like, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry, bitch. I already opened it.
Already read.
Already read.
Is there like no way that you can like recall the email?
Well, there is. You can recall an email, but if they've already opened it.
Oh, I see.
So, for example, like I don't know exactly how it works, but I just know that I've had situations where I've got an email, I've opened it.
Yeah.
Then I've got a second email that said that they were trying to recall that email.
Yeah.
But I've already opened it, so it was like in my inbox. Yeah.
Oh my God! And then I see this article. However bad your past week might have been, here's some consolation. Federico Andito Reynolds was probably worse. That's the lawyer.
I mean, it must have just slipped his mind. Like, I bet you what happened is
how do you accidentally send the entire transcript? Like, I'm sorry.
He might have been trying to send it to someone else in his law firm though, and then for whatever reason accidentally send it to the prosecutor, and then or not the prosecutor, the prosecutor, and then.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm glad this happened, to be honest. I think a lot of people are glad.
Oh, that's so golden.
Because it's actually golden. But I just cannot believe that you had this moment. Like,
it popped off.
The lawyer said, the plaintiff's lawyer said, you messed up. The lawyer messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone. I mean, I would just fucking walk out of that courtroom at that moment. But
then at the same time, like part of me is like, shouldn't that have been presented to the lawyers anyway? Because I thought like when you have these cases, like you're supposed to put your shit open. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought.
Yeah. No, Daniel. No, the legal system is not. I know anything, that's very true. There's so many loopholes, and the whole even having the court situation, I feel like is a little bit of like we're just playing games at this point. You know what I mean? There's information that you can't say. There's information you can say. Yeah. Like there's all these rules. Like you can't say it this way, that way. Yeah. And of course they're not going to send the entire like I don't know. Like that must be. Oh, actually, I think you have to if it's a criminal investigation. Yeah. But because it's like a civil lawsuit, you don't I think that's the difference. Yeah. So if you like were caught like I don't know murdering someone, then I think they have all of your records.
They have access to everything.
That's the difference. But if it's a lawsuit, then they don't necessarily have to show your entire.
But even in murder investigations, I know like just from watching true crime.
It's still like a mess.
There'll be like weird things where it's like if they find like for like this might be an extreme example and not exactly accurate, guys, but like let's say they found the murder victim the murder weapon at your house. But let's say for some reason it was like considered tampered with or something like this. Yeah. And even though like it was found at your house with your fingerprints on and is like the nail in the coffin for you. Yeah. Because it was like tampered with evidence, they actually can't submit it to the courts.
And you can't say it in front of the jury.
Exactly.
So the jury doesn't get that information.
Exactly. So that's
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm like, because I get it though too, that like partly that's in place to protect stuff from like a Stephen Avery kind of case happening where it's like police potentially would have like, again, it's unknown with that case, guys, but like they pointed in a really, really weird direction.
What do you think about that case? Do you think he's innocent?
I do.
I think he's innocent.
Yeah, just the way it was presented and everything else. The story was so far-fetched. Yeah. It was very strange. Like the whole thing was very strange. But anyway, that's like a side, Yeah. It is what it is. But this is crazy.
So anyways, the update is.
Yeah.
Jury orders Alex Jones to pay $45 million in Sandy Hook case.
Yes.
And that's just one lawsuit. I think he has more coming.
And that my friends. I'm not gonna say my kids. That my kids. That my friends is justice.
Yes. Oh my God. Seriously.
Like, I bet you he'll think twice. Talking about
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Listen, he's rich. I'm sure he has way more than 45, but still, that's a significant chunk.
That's a hit.
Even for a rich person, that's a significant.
Oh
chunk.
Yeah, depending how rich they are.
I know, but for him, I think it could be a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, if you're like a billionaire, 45 million is probably not a big deal. But like, even if you're a millionaire, like even let's say you have a couple $100 million, 45 million is a fucking lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So that is justice. It is
I love
sweet. That is one good
music
news.
To my ears.
Oh my God, seriously. I can't believe.
Yeah.
I just can't believe the fuck up.
It's just bad. Like,
I know.
You know how you're saying like this kind of like, it's not one of the stories I want to talk about, but I do want to mention it because it ties in with this. You know how you're mentioning how he has like all of these like not followers, but like people that like, you know, follow his conspiracy.
Follow him,
and they're kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like they all might like, you know, they're just wild. I watched this documentary on Netflix called "The Internet's Most Hated Man" or something.
Oh yes, it's popular right now.
Oh God, it's like #1 in Canada or something. This guy, just like I don't want to do too many spoilers. 'Cause I know you haven't seen it and stuff. But like this guy basically is like just like a horrible person. And he has this like army of guys that would like follow him because they like his like lifestyle and what he represents, and he's like a player and all this bullshit.
Ugh.
And this one lady that like basically her daughter's pictures ended up on this website.
Yeah.
And they had requested to take them down and all this stuff, and he just like wouldn't. So her mom was like fighting for her daughter, and like she was getting from his like army of followers like death threats, all this crazy shit, like wild stuff.
Oh my God.
And, like people are crazy. Like
people
I'd be scared.
do things with your life.
I know.
Spend some time, touch some grass.
I know. Like I don't get it. Like I think about my life and like how busy and things I have going on. Like I don't have fucking time to be like
to send death threats.
To be stalking people and like sending them death threats.
Oh my God.
Like what are you actually doing with your life?
You need to do some engaging activities.
Yeah.
Like go for a walk.
100%. Like go do something else.
Go cook a meal. Like stop spending time in that basement.
I don't get it. Exactly. Get out of your parents' basement.
Like literally.
And go do something with your life.
Oh
like
God, it is just.
It like shocks me.
I know. I'm afraid to watch that show.
I know. I think it's not like scary, but like it will make you angry.
Yeah, I'll be mad.
Like you will fucking hate this guy.
Oh God.
So, like he is literally like the definition of scum on earth.
Oh God.
Like it is bad, and he has like the worst part
he has
too.
No shame.
No shame and no like remorse throughout the entire thing.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he wants was attention. All he wants, like, he was fucking crazy.
Oh my!
So guys, watch it if you want.
I think a lot of people must have watched it. All right, what the?
Did you not hear about this?
Oh, okay. Wait, no, I have not.
So
the news story is.
Oh God. So the state of Colorado has decided to no longer tax feminine hygiene products and diapers. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up though, because I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. So in Canada, I don't know I think it's the same in the States. Certain things are taxed and certain things aren't, right?
Sure.
So things that are considered essential goods or things necessary are not taxed.
Right.
So like apples,
like food,
bananas, not processed food, right? But if it's like processed food, it's taxed.
And not in Alberta. In Alberta, like most groceries are not taxed.
What?
Well, and also, how do you classify processed food?
Like if it's like something that's like highly processed.
Well, that's the thing. It's a gray area.
Yeah.
So my experience when I go to a grocery store, I buy a mixture of things. Mm-hmm. Very rarely is it ever taxed unless I buy something that's not food.
But you also buy a lot of produce, don't you?
But I don't only buy produce. I buy like next time you go to a grocery store, buy other things and check. They don't. In Alberta, I don't know about other places, but here, like. Because also, I think it's not fair to classify certain food as processed and certain because pasta could be processed, white rice could be processed.
Oh, that's interesting. I should look at my.
It's because I do taxes for my groceries. I'm almost 99% sure that pretty much all, unless you eat out, when you're eating out at a restaurant, that's taxed.
Yeah.
When you eat out, when you buy food, I don't know, in certain situations, it can be taxed. But other than that, like food and drink is generally not taxed here.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know about
Colorado, but apparently Colorado decided, I guess before they were paying tax on diapers and feminine and hygiene products.
Right.
So they've decided to remove that now and are saying there's going to be no sales tax on those because they're not considered like luxury items.
Well, I think they should. This is my controversial socialist take.
Okay.
These should be available to everybody for cheaper. It's also very expensive.
Yeah. Very expensive.
It's fucking expensive. Well, first of all, guys, get a for women out there. Okay. Get a, what do you call it?
90% of our audience.
Yes. Get a
Diva cup.
Diva cup. It's also called a menstrual cup.
Moon cup.
A moon cup. There's many, many brands now.
Yeah. I did see a TikTok that came up.
Why? What kind of algorithm are you on?
I don't know. My algorithm has gotten a really, really strange, guys.
Well, I think they know that you're a 16-year-old girl now, Daniel.
So there was a woman that had like, like those fake vaginas that are like these like jelly tubes.
Oh, like for teaching? No.
Well, I don't know if it's for teaching, but
is it for like
it
sex?
could be like a sex toy.
Oh.
So
okay.
but basically like it looks like a vagina on the end.
And she was teaching you how to put it in.
Yeah. But then it was funny because she like all of a sudden on this TikTok pulls it up and it has like hair also glued on it to make it look more realistic.
Oh my God.
And I was like, whoa, what is happening here? And then she like pulled the cup out. Yeah. She's like, you have to do it this way. And I was like, what is going on my algorithm here?
That is some good educational information.
I mean, it is. It is. Like, I mean, wrong audience. But,
algorithm messed up.
Exactly. The algorithm did mess up a little bit, So.
But anyway, you should get a menstrual cup and also reusable pads. And I've had a zero waste period for 5+ years.
Wow, Ro.
Oh, not a slow clap.
That's a fast clap. That's a
yes,
fast clap.
it's also better for the environment.
Yeah.
And also because you're reusing it, it's a little bit, obviously it's expensive. It's not very cheap.
Yeah.
But if you think about how much money you're spending on pads and tampons, you can probably make the money back in a year.
There's actually there's becoming more and more products that are like this though, that are reusable. Like, so for example, like for my laundry, I bought these things. They're called,
I need to get that.
Yeah. They're called gargoyles. They're like, it's a brand or whatever. And basically what they are, they're these like little balls, like they're like about this big. And you put them all, you need about 4 to 5, depending on how big the laundry load is. But you put them in there and they have little beads inside them that like basically neutralize the water or do something, the same thing that laundry detergent does to the water, that helps clean and remove waste. And the clothes come out clean. They just don't have a smell. Like, how about like stained clothes? Does it do well with that? I think you need to have a little bit of detergent. So I think it's good to have a little bit of both, but like regular stuff that's not stained, that's just like
and it gets smells out and everything. Really? I mean, the man smell. Get the man smell out.
You've seen my gym gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've smelled your gym gear.
Exactly.
Get that smell out?
It does.
Okay, I need to get me some of these.
Yeah. So basically, and the good thing about these is they last for about 4 to 5 years.
That's amazing.
And it saves so much because you don't have to buy like as much laundry detergent and stuff.
Yes, and it's like better for the environment. You're not using as many chemicals.
Yeah.
And I think like honestly, it's so fucked up because it's like we've created through capitalism this like constant disposable products.
Yeah.
And now we're finally being like, this is not a good idea. Like we're like realizing, well, some of us are, not all of us.
Not all, believe me.
And it's just kind of like shifting that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, feminine hygiene products, good. I think it should be cheaper. I think that for some people it should be, maybe it's not fair to say that it should be available for everybody, but like it should be a lot cheaper and it should not be taxed.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I was watching this thing about actually too, which I think we talked about this the other day, but especially for like women that happen to be on the streets. Imagine how hard it is for those women that have their period.
I know. This is the thing. We don't think about these things.
What do you do? Like, I watched this thing and it was like I think it was like a YouTube clip or something. And this lady was like talking about it. And she's like, it's so awkward because she's like, I have to go to like a public bathrooms and I like don't know what to, like, you know what I mean? And they don't have access to the same kind of products. So like, it would be good if they could get those things. And I think
can they not? Is there no that's the thing. Is there no service government program that gives women these types of things? Because
I mean, maybe there is, but I don't think there's that much support.
Yeah, that's
to be honest. I think that we would be more surprised as people that aren't on the streets and stuff. Like, I think we would be more surprised in general. Like, I think we think there's more programs out there than there are, but I really wonder,
we take things for granted. And also to access those programs, what do they have to do?
Exactly. Yeah. So I think it's quite challenging. And diapers, controversial opinion, but I think in those states that ban abortions, diapers should be fucking free.
Yes.
Diapers, baby food.
Absolutely.
Let's go after all those baby products. We're talking the entire baby industry, basically. If you're saying, sorry, guys, you can't have an abortion, but everything for your baby's free.
Yeah. There you go. That's the trade-off.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
But no, that's never going to fucking happen, is it?
I know. I don't even know what's going on right now. I hope you guys are still rioting because it's still fucked up.
I know. I actually saw this, another documentary. I haven't watched it yet.
Uh-huh.
But it came up, it's on Netflix. It's like Roe versus Wade.
Oh, I watched it. Well, I don't know if I watched the whole thing, but I watched some of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me mad.
Oh, God.
But like, it's good for education. Like, it kind of takes you on like a... Well, I can't remember if I finished watching it, but it kind of... it makes me mad because it's so... it shows you kind of how it all started in the very beginning reading Roe v. Wade and how it all got passed, and it was like first wave feminism, and it's very inspiring to see like first wave feminists talking, because at that time to have that opinion and to fight for women's rights was not popular.
Yeah.
You know, even amongst women, right? So it shows how badass these people were.
Yeah.
And then for it to just crumble in their own lifetime is insane.
I know. It's so sad. Like, honestly, it's like, oh God,
I know.
it's like beyond frustrating.
And things are just going backwards, and it's so frustrating.
I think the thing that really like upsets me is more so, I mean, obviously still not more so. This shit obviously really upsets me, but it also makes me concerned that there's that many people out there that also think that way.
Yes.
The opposite way.
Exactly.
You know, I'm like, how is so many people not like...
I know. How is this not although it is still the majority opinion that abortion should be available, even amongst, I think, Republicans. Actually, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
I think gay marriage is where it's like the majority opinion.
Yeah.
But I think it's still majority opinion. Who knows? But it's not that much majority. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be like fucking 90-something%.
Exactly.
But it's not.
It's just shocking. Things like this shock me. Like, still, I'm just like, oh my God.
How are we still there?
I know.
It's like medieval times.
Oh my God, I know. Like, are we going to go back with like women can't vote anymore? Like, is that what's going to happen?
Like, fuck, I'm telling you, it's Handmaid's Tale. Like, if we let this happen, more things are going to happen. Gay marriage is next.
Yeah, women can't own property.
Oh, goddamn.
Gonna have to give up your condo, Rose?
Goddamn. Well, is someone going to feed me and bathe me?
Mm-hmm. Women's only job is to clean the house.
Oh, God. Seriously?
We're going to go back to the real medieval
Oh,
times.
my God. Honestly. Okay, what's next? What the?
Have you heard about this?
No.
Oh, my God.
Security guard faked mass shooting threats at Lollapalooza to get off work early.
Yeah.
Okay, what festival is Lollapalooza again? I've heard of it before.
Lollapalooza.
Where is it?
It's in the U.S.
But
yeah. So here.
Chicago. It's in Chicago.
It's Chicago. Okay. So an 18-year-old security guard was arrested at Lollapalooza over the weekend.
Story.
I know, after she allegedly sent texts and Facebook messages, purporting to
what a weird word.
Oh God, it's really hot in here, Rose.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. To threaten a mass shooting at the annual event. So I guess like, and then when they were being like prosecuted and going through the whole thing, I guess her comment was, basically she allegedly said that she made the threats in order to get off work early.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
I know. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, guys,
is she going to jail?
Yeah, it says charges were filed over the weekend, and Williams appeared in the bond court this week. So I think that
guys, quit your job.
I know.
Like, I know times are tough, but this is not the solution.
I know the solution to like work. You guys, like
we can write, we can talk about jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
But what the fuck?
But I mean, this is this generation. You know, instead of
are we gonna be the old people?
Yeah, we are gonna be the old people. Instead of like quitting your job or doing something, you know, instead you send threats to get off early.
Yeah.
You maybe.
I mean, it's one person, so we can't generalize an entire generation.
That's true.
We'll get in trouble for that.
You know, one of the stories we're going to talk about on Patreon has to do with people fucking around in their jobs. You know, so this generation, instead of just being like a normal human being, maybe calling in sick. Maybe just not,
yeah, calling it sick, yeah.
Maybe just not, not working as a security guard. If you don't want to fucking work as a security guard, like.
Why do you need to get off work early?
Exactly. Like, I don't understand.
So was she trying to basically get the festival canceled, essentially?
I don't know.
I assume so, because then if there's a mass shooting threat, then they're going to cancel the festival.
But like, oh my God, like, what the actual fuck?
I know, what the actual fuck?
Like, can you imagine?
Like, can you imagine doing that?
Like, I don't get it.
Okay, I would like to have the confidence of this woman,
God, I know.
without the psychotic behavior.
Because I'm like, you know what? I actually think I want to get off early today, so I'm going to actually fake a bomb threat.
Oh my God.
Like, what
is going on through your head? Get a psychiatric evaluation.
I know. It's actually like kind of crazy.
But the amount of anxiety I would have trying to pull that off.
Oh. I know. I'd feel so anxious. Like, shit, if I get caught, I'm going to get in so much trouble. Like, did this not go through your head?
Yes. Like, we would be, like, we're anxious to like leave work early.
I know.
That's like the level of anxiety we have.
I feel bad when I call in sick. I'm
yes,
like, oh,
even if you are sick.
I get heart palpitations.
Like when you're sick, you're like, oh my God, do I sound sick enough?
I know. I'm like, oh, but that's our generation, right? Like we're like,
I know. We're like in between. Here's the thing. The millennial generation, we're like in between the boomer generation. Is it called boomers?
I think so.
Boomer generation and then like the Gen Z. And I mean, not to toot our own horn, but I feel like we're a good balance.
Yeah.
Or maybe the crazy thing is though, people always shit on millennials. But now it's like, it's gotten even, worse with Gen Z in terms of what people think we're like, young people are like. But, we saw our parents, like, obviously there's toxicness of the parents, or like the older generation, they're working too much, for example, and they're not taking any breaks, and that's all they do is work, and they don't ever complain. They don't take care of their mental health at all. And then we kind of saw that, and I'm sure we still have a little bit of that, right?
We do. I think we do.
So it's a little bit like we have a little bit of that, but also we kind of know a little bit more about mental health. We've learned a little bit about work ethic. But not all of us. We can't generalize again, because there's plenty of millennials that do not also work hard, and there's also plenty of millennials that don't take care of the mental health either.
And there's plenty of boomers that don't work hard either. And it's so funny, because I do feel like, and again, I'm generalizing here, guys. Like, we're generalizing.
This whole thing is a generalization.
It is, because we're like talking about our experience and stuff. But I always think like it was really funny, because like I just go back to like when I was working in London, for example, and me and one of my coworkers, we were both kind of like up and coming rising stars in the business, you know?
Yes.
And we worked with a lot of senior executives and senior management team.
Right.
And they liked working with us. They put us under a lot of pressure. We were under a ton of pressure. And we went through this huge, our company was actually bought, and we were very close to the acquisition, like helping with all sorts of things. So like pretty intense stuff, which was an amazing experience. But at the same time, both of us weren't paid very well. And like, in London, it's like you need to have that certain, all of the execs, like pretty much none of them lived in London. They didn't know the living costs there. And like when we would mention things, like we would like talk to them as well, be like, hey, like, this is not a living wage. Like we need a bit more money, like this kind of stuff. And it was almost as if they were like thinking like
you were entitled.
You're entitled. Yeah. They're like all these like young kids, like, yeah, we're rising stars in the business, but like, why do they expect to get so much money? When on the flip side, it's like they're making so much money.
Right.
They're not living in London.
Sure.
And they all own their own house, probably outright.
Because they bought it when it was not crazy expensive.
Exactly. And they bought it when it was super cheap. Like even my parents that aren't just on the cusp of that generation.
Yeah.
Because my parents are in their 50s, right? So they're not quite
Your parents are very young.
They are very young. They're not quite that generation of like 60s, 70s. But like even my parents, like their first house was only like 2 times my dad's salary at the time.
Right.
Like it was very much in their wheelhouse and affordable.
I mean, we've all seen the comparisons of the rise in housing costs.
Yeah.
But the rise in salary, it's not even at all close.
I know, and it's funny because there's so many jokes when they're saying like the boomer that generation is like, oh, it's because these kids they're like traveling all the time and eating their avocado on toast. And
that's the
avocado on toast is like the big thing, and I'm like, guys,
it's because one stupid guy that I'm pretty sure was a millennial said this. And he like probably came from money. I have no idea. Who was like in Australia or something, and he was like, if people just stop eating the avocado on toast and pay $20 for avocado on toast, then maybe they can afford a home.
And it's like the crazy thing is with the cost of groceries and stuff, even if people on certain salaries are not eating avocado on toast, like, I'm sorry, let them have one fucking simple pleasure in life, because they can't afford a fucking house. They can barely afford their rent. So God forbid they go out and buy themselves a fucking avocado on toast. Like, it's so crazy to me. And it's like, I see these things like come up on my Facebook all the time. Like I just see some stuff is quite funny, like comical, but then also I see stuff and you'll see the comments. Yeah. And it is crazy. Like, I thought that like this was pretty like well documented in a sense that like, not that we're like whining and complaining, but we're saying is like, the reality is the way that salaries and cost of living and houses has kind of gone away from each other. Sure. Like our generation naturally it is harder. It's harder to get a house. Yeah. It's harder to do all this stuff. We're not necessarily complaining. It's just the reality of the situation. So many people in the comment section, oh, the millennials, they just whine. They don't want to work. They don't want to do things. It's like, bitch, I never said I didn't want to work. Exactly. We are working, but we're earning not enough. Cause like there's so many like memes and things, but like one really good one was like, there was a picture of this house and I don't know the full reality of it. Like it was a really nice detached house, probably in a really nice area. And they were like a guy working like a minimum wage job, or maybe not minimum wage, but like a really like a normal job with his wife staying at home with the kids. Yeah. Was able to afford this. And it's like, that is just nobody's reality right now. Like
people with two incomes. Yeah. Can't afford a home. Exactly. In many places in the world. Exactly. That is not okay. Exactly. So what's our message then? Like, is Gen Z entitled? Are they not working hard? Or is it just we're kind of okay, here's the thing. We understand kind of I do think that of course the younger generation, we have it difficult in this aspect, right? It is absolutely insane that we live in a world where again, 2 people can be together and work together, earn good incomes, people that are university graduated. I'm talking about my friends here that live in Vancouver, Toronto.
Yeah.
University graduated people that make very good incomes. Two of them living together cannot buy a normal house.
Or if they buy a house, they're broke.
They're house poor, and one of their entire salary goes to the house.
Exactly. Like
that's crazy.
Yeah. Any of my friends that have like places, like, or people that I know that have places out in Toronto or Vancouver, it's like they have like no disposable income. Like
they have no disposable income.
Yeah.
And that's two of them, not just one person, two.
I know.
And then, okay, so that's that. So it's fucked up. So like, yes, we do have a right to complain, and yes, it's fucked up, and yes, of course, our mental health is important. But I do think that in some aspect, the younger generation, not to be that person, maybe a little fragile, maybe not everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe a little like, on the, I don't want to work because I have a little anxiety sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I can understand to some degree.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have responsibilities. And we talk about this off camera, but we're like, what are you going to do when like real shit happens? Yeah. Like, not that having anxiety is not real, but at the same time, if like something tiny little thing triggers you, what are you going to do when like some big thing happens? You gotta face hardships in life.
Exactly. And you gotta learn to deal with them. And like, obviously, again, mental health is important, and I don't disagree with that. But like,
part of building your mental health is building resilience. Yeah. And dealing with slightly tough situations. Being coddled all the time. Like, for example, COVID, 2 years, we stayed home. I think that did a fucking huge negative impact for a lot of people.
Oh, wait, 100%. Yes. Everybody did negative impact for
exactly.
Them.
Even for me, like
every single person, like all of us,
because it was like we were just staying home.
Yeah.
And we were not dealing with different things.
In some weird ways though, guys. Like I know it's not good for my mental health. And I know like I'm like, but when life is like crazy,
I know.
You're just kind of like,
I kind of miss it.
Like, it's nice to be like, oh, I actually don't have anything to do tonight. I can't do anything tonight.
God, I know. The thing is though, I mean, obviously COVID was a terrible time, guys. I mean, not that it's also not over, but anyway. But it's like now the FOMO is fully back, right?
Yeah,
especially
100%.
in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to do everything.
Yeah.
And I want to be invited to everything. And not that I have friends, but like, so even when I have 1 or 2 nights when I'm staying home, I'm like, it's nice. But at the same time, I'm like,
what are people
oh
doing?
my God, it's like summer.
Yeah. I want to go out for a beer. I want to go to patio.
Yeah. COVID, I'm like, we're all staying home.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything interesting. Oh, I missed that.
It was so nice because it's like, okay, well, I'd finish work. I'd just be at home.
This ties into our story.
It does, exactly. It all kind of links together.
Oh my God, you guys. So we went on that little tangent for a reason.
Yes.
So read us the title of the story,
So the next
Daniel.
story, and I kind of do want to ask, this is actually, I want to ask the audience as well. Like, this is a separate.
There might be some Gen Z in the audience.
Exactly. And I think
maybe
there
they have
is
a different perspective.
Yeah. So this is saying that, and again, this is part of like inflation, but they're saying Gen Z is racking up credit card debt almost 3 times as fast as everyone else as inflation sinks in. So basically what they're saying is on average, and this
compared to other people.
Yeah, compared to other people, they are
having a harder time. Wait, go up a little bit. Gen Z is having a harder time paying off credit cards as inflation increases. Yeah. Compared to a year ago, credit card balances for younger people increased by 30%. Yeah. Low credit score consumers also saw their credit card balance rise by almost 25%.
So they're saying Gen Z is going up more than even low credit score people.
Right.
So people that aren't good at managing their credit and everything else. And they're saying, and this, again, this is kind of just like based on a, like probably an analysis or whatever by Vantage Score. They're saying, so Gen Z saw this 30% increase overall of their balances that they were carrying on their credit cards versus 11% with everyone else. Yeah.
So the rest of the population saw an 11%. That's significantly higher.
Yeah. That's huge. And I think...
I mean, they're just younger? Yeah. I don't know. I wonder what it... Like, I don't know. It's hard to... Continue.
But the interesting thing is, like, what was inflation? Like, this is the U.S. article. So, like, what was inflation?
I mean, it's not 30%. I mean, some things...
Some things are.
It's insane. Yeah. You guys, honestly, because I have a business as well, I see things from, like, more of a macro perspective because we're buying bulk things. Yeah. It is crazy.
Nuts.
Okay. One of the things that we buy, I won't say what because I don't know. One of the things that we buy that is essential to our business has gone up in price 50%. Yeah. What we used to pay per one thing, it was like $25. It went up in literally a month, $38.
It's insane.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I guess the question...
And I can't even complain because I don't know what's going on over there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I feel bad. Like, anyway.
It's crazy. It is crazy, but you're right. So,
and it's not every. Anyway, what is this?
It's not everything. But what I was going to say is this is just going to be my question to the audience. I mean, I guess it's a stupid question because we're all impacted by this, but like, you know, have you guys not have you guys noticed?
It says for millennials, the data found that their credit card balances went up by 22%. So millennials are also pretty bad.
Yeah.
With inflation driving prices up for commodities like gas and food, young and low income consumers are having a harder time paying off credit card and other bills than they were earlier in the pandemic.
And you know, this is really concerning because like we already talked about like housing and rent increases, everything else. The thing that makes me concerned is like, again, in Calgary, we're a little bit sheltered, but not so much in a sense that like, you know, our costs for like rent and stuff aren't as crazy as some other cities. It's still getting up there now though. But I guess the concern that I have is if like, it's more the people that are like, you know, on the line.
Yeah.
Like,
what are they going to do? That's why they're using the credit card. That's the thing.
But this is it. But that can only go on that's only sustainable for so long, right? And then you get into like.
What counts as Gen Z?
I think it's like
like teenagers to 20 something.
I think it's like up to 25, 26.
But
like the thing is, okay, guys, this is one thing that pisses me off about these categories as well.
I know.
If you look up millennials though, or look up any of the categories,
it's like a 10-year gap.
But every source tells a slightly different story.
Yes.
One will be like, oh, it's people from 28 to 38. Okay, cool. One will say it's 30 to 40.
I know.
Okay, cool. Another one says it's 25 to like. I'm like, which one is it? Like, can we make a fucking consensus here?
I know there's no consensus.
Yeah,
it's like it's just made up. It says Gen Z in one source. It says Gen Z is born after 1996.
Yeah.
So that would be how old, Daniel?
So 96 is 25.
But born after 1996, but it doesn't stop. So that means it could be
up until now.
Yeah. What? See, that's another thing. Yeah. These giant like 20-year fucking because like that's 1996, that's an adult, isn't it? Is it an adult?
Oh yeah. My brother was born in 97.
20 something.
26 it would be.
Yeah. So you can't have a gap of 20 something. You can't have a range that's that big.
Yeah.
And generalize the whole population like that.
Yeah.
Because people being born now probably gonna be different from 20 something year olds.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's just kind of like
that's another stupid thing about this whole thing.
I love that. Yeah. I think you've probably seen it. The algorithm for TikTok though, when they're like,
which one?
You know, like the older generation born in the early 90s, and people are like.
I know. But, like people born in the 1990s.
Oh, yeah. Like people born in the 1990s. It's like,
and then everyone's like, excuse me, are we the older generation?
We are.
We're talking like the older generation. We're like, oh my God, the young people.
I know. It's funny. We were like going for a walk the other day, guys, and we were talking about all this stuff because we talk about this also off camera. Yes. Like we just never stop talking about stuff.
Yeah.
And we were just like going for a walk and we're like, oh my God. And I don't know if any of you have had this realization or if you're even
that you're old
if you're at our age bracket or whatever, when we're talking about like the younger generation, then we're like, holy shit.
And we're complaining about the younger generation.
Because you know what? I feel like you're old because when I was in my 20s, I was never like, oh, those young, 18, 19-year-olds or whatever, But now I'm like, oh, those young 20-year-olds. Yeah. Those like, Gen Zers.
Look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Look at what they're complaining about. They didn't have it as hard as we did.
We have become
We've
old.
become that. Okay. But it is like again, every generation complains about the generation after. Mm-hmm. And, in some aspects though, obviously young people have it more together.
But I also think I think every generation had its pros and cons, right?
Yes.
So there's definitely like I think, I look at my like grandparents' generation, for example, like one of the pros generally, like again, that was starting to change even for my grandparents' generation, but generally it was like only 1% to be the breadwinner.
Right.
So they could have somebody.
But that's not really a generation sort of thing. It's more of the circumstances. So they had it kind of easy.
Yeah.
Essentially.
But that would be a pro of being a part of that generation.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant about like the pros of the characteristics of the generation.
Oh, no. I was meaning like being in each generation has its pros and cons. Like I think one of the pros for us is like, for example, like our generation, travel's opened up a lot more.
Oh,
connectivity has opened up a lot more. I think that's one of the pros. One of the cons is everything's fucking expensive as fuck now.
Yeah.
And we can't really be able to generate the same kind of wealth that the generation before was able to. So there's definitely pros and cons to each, right? So I don't know.
So yeah, what's Gen Z gonna do?
I don't know. What are we all going to do, Rose? That's the real question.
I mean, if you think about it, like if Gen Z goes to like maybe 25 or something, they're obviously not making much money. And it is also concerning that they're spending so much on their credit card. Yeah. Guys, we have to save money, but at the same time, is it because we can't save money? But it's hard to say.
Exactly. And also, the messed up thing in our society, Rose.
What's the messed up thing? We have to get a credit card.
You have to get a credit card.
I know, it's so fucked up.
This is the thing. The credit card companies.
This is all a scam.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We are living just a giant scam right now, you guys.
If you think about it, it's kind of like fucked up how our society works in a sense that like in order for you to do anything, like if you want to get a house, you want to do
a car,
you want to get a line of credit or anything like this, you
need a line of credit because, and then you have to get a credit card.
You have to get a credit card. It's like you're forced to get it. And like, don't get me wrong. So I've, gotten better over time with my spending and stuff. And now I do have a credit card, which I use all the time. But what I do is I use it to get the points and then pay it off every month. Right?
Yes. So I've always paid it off every month.
Exactly. Which is great that we're able to do that. Mm-hmm. Like that's a fortunate thing. But I think people that, even people that are making good money, if they don't have good spending habits, what can happen is they'll get a credit card, they'll max it out, and then they'll start running into all these problems. Right. And it's like, but they're forced to do it. Like you it's almost like you're forcing people that we're not teaching even in school how to manage finances and stuff. Yep. And you're saying, hey, get this credit card. And people look at it as like free money. They're like, oh, sweet. It's like, I don't have money in my account, but I got like $2,000 on my credit card.
Yep.
And then it's like, they don't click in that actually that's not your money. Like you shouldn't be spending that if you don't have it to pay it off later.
I know. It's so fucked up.
Or to pay it off when you next get paid or whatever. Right. Like, and not get into this vicious cycle of like, I don't know. It's
paying off the minimum payment.
Exactly.
And then you have to spend more.
That is it's biggest scam. Because if you think about
this whole thing is a scam.
Yeah. Like the interest rates on credit cards.
What are they even? It's like 20%.
It's higher than that, I think. Depending on the credit card, I think it's like 25%. It's ridiculous. So like if you get into that situation where you max out your credit card, which I'm sure some people are, and a lot
of people are.
Yeah. And it's like, even if you make your minimum payments, it's like almost impossible to pay it off. Like it will take you so long, and it's such a scam. Like I don't understand how the credit card companies have got away with it for so long.
Because I feel like our whole existence is a scam.
Yeah.
Like everything we're doing is all fucked up. But I think here's the thing with the credit card thing. There's people that I do think that it's a systemic issue. Yeah. Like most things, it's a systemic issue. We have this issue exactly like you described. Why do 18-year-olds need a credit card?
Yeah,
it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And why do we need to have a credit card to prove that we can pay something off? If we have a savings account, and we're able to save money, that should also be counted.
This is my biggest argument. Thank you. Like that's literally. There's two things that I wanted to bring up about this. Well, that is one of them. If you go to, let's say, buy a house or do whatever, okay, let's say you don't have a credit card. You have a lot saved. You've proved that you're able to save while working, like substantial amount. Even if it's not a substantial amount, but you're able to save. And number two, another big indicator of being able to pay your shit on time is why can't they look at, for example, your bills, your rent that you pay?
Are you paying your bills on time?
Exactly. They can look at your bills. You could that could be proof to say, hey, guess what? I don't have a credit card because I don't want to get a credit card, but I pay everything cash.
Yep.
I pay all my bills on time. I pay my rent every single month, all the time on time.
Yeah.
Why is that not enough to then prove to the bank that you could get a loan to buy a house?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's so fucked up. They're like, nope, that actually doesn't suffice. That's no proof to us.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
It's like
it's just a way to get, because think about how much money that people make on interest on basically people getting fucked over.
Yeah.
That's basically the entire banking industry. Yeah. It's interest.
It's crazy. It's like actually like it blows my mind because I actually was in this situation when I moved back to Canada because I didn't have a lot of credit history here when I moved back.
Yeah.
And
didn't you not really have a credit card before? Like you didn't really use a credit card.
No, I had one before, but I didn't really use it that much. So
I know you kept using your debit.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Why should we have to use the credit card? I kept telling you need to use your credit card.
I know, because the way I used to look at it, obviously my thoughts have changed. But the way I used to look at it is I was like, look, I only want to spend what I have in my account. Like, I don't want to spend more than things that I don't have.
Which is how we should teach kids.
Exactly.
But that's not what we're doing. And that creates negative habits with money. So many people have such bad money habits.
Exactly.
And you can't even blame them because of the system.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, and I want to shake people sometimes. I'm like, why are you spending money that you don't have?
Exactly.
But then we incentivize it by giving people credit cards when they shouldn't have credit cards.
Exactly.
And then
on top of that,
and then we blame them for having bad spending habits.
Exactly. And then on top of that, the credit cards give these elusive point programs.
Oh, yes.
So people get this false illusion. Like literally, I'm telling you right now, if you carry a balance on your credit card and you have to pay interest, it negates any points you're going to get.
Yeah.
100%.
Because the points are not nothing compared to your interest.
Exactly. The points are I don't know. For example, I think one of my cards, I get travel reward points. Yeah. But it probably if I worked out what it was, it's 2% of my spending or something. You know, something really small. Whereas if you carry a balance, it's a 23% interest charge. it's so stupid. Like you're not, the
Yeah.
points are not worth what you're getting. So unless you pay your balance off in full every month, there's like, it's not going to help
Yeah.
you. But I just think it just blows my mind. It blows my mind that our society is set up in such a way, like, and I ran into this. I was like, I came back, I wanted to buy a place. I had enough money in my account for like a down payment. I had a good job. You could see regular money coming into my account.
Yeah.
All of this stuff. And it still wasn't enough. They were like, nope, you have to have a credit card, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and they're like, not only do I have to have a credit card, I couldn't just get a credit card and not use it.
You have to use it.
You have to use it. Like, and I'm like,
I know.
What?
We're forced to use it.
Yeah.
We are.
And then you know what's even crazier is like, so I put a lot of stuff on my credit card, but then like I said, I always pay it off and everything.
Yes.
But then there's a couple, like since I bought my place, I've been putting a lot through on my credit card.
Uh-huh. And we have to remember to pay it.
Yeah, we have to remember to pay it. I've been good at that. I've been
Yeah.
doing it. But interestingly, because I've been like, they've noticed that my balance has generally been a bit higher.
Yeah.
But then it's always cleared off.
They gave you more.
All of a sudden I get an offer for more credit.
Yeah, always.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, imagine.
Uh-huh.
And that's how people end up in this horrible cycle. It's like they start carrying a balance, or the credit card companies see them spending more.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
more.
You need 1,000, 2,000
Oh,
more.
yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't.
I know, but they give it to you and you're like, oh, I might as well take it.
I know. And I'm like, for a rainy day, but it's like, I shouldn't be using my credit card for a rainy day. That's what my savings account's for.
But like, we've literally created that society.
Yeah. Anyway.
So then when people are, and also the problem is we've also created this consumeristic society where people feel the need to buy so many things.
Yeah.
So I think we have this combination of like this crazy, system that we've created that's obviously bad for all of us, especially the younger generation. But then the younger generation were brought up with all of these consumeristic goods that they are supposedly have. They have to have the newest iPhone. Kids are being made fun of because they don't have the, best phone.
Yeah.
all this crazy shit. They're
and
brought
whereas
up.
a new phone is like $1,200.
It's fucking, that's another thing. Phones, guys, in our time.
In our generation, guys.
When we had regular phones that weren't smartphones, I get it. They're different.
Yeah.
They were like, and I thought it was expensive at that time. It was like $300 for a phone.
I remember being like $300. Holy shit.
And now it's like $2,000 for a fucking phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then so people have to have these things. And then I see people that there are so many people that spend recklessly. Like, like not everyone is like on the brink of like, whatever, like debt. Like if they were smart about it, they would be fine. You know what I'm saying? But then also we don't teach kids how to manage money properly.
Exactly.
We don't teach. So if you have parents, for example, that aren't good with money, the chance that you're going to be good with money is lower because no one else is going to teach you.
Exactly.
And then it's a constant cycle. So again, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, do you blame the person for being obese or do you blame the society for making people obese?
Exactly.
It's like, I blame mostly society.
Yeah.
Why are people unhealthy? If you look at, for example, like smoking, for example, back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, everyone was smoking. Yeah. It was very normal because everybody in that society smoked, and also because there was a lot of misinformation by tobacco companies, all of these things. And then slowly now everybody vapes.
Yeah.
Same fucking thing. But anyway, so it's easy to blame individuals, and we often do it too as well. We're like, okay, why are you being, and also like, it is like sometimes frustrating to see individuals that could otherwise be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That just don't know how to spend, and they just throw like we talk about all the time, like guys that buy like, way too expensive cars for no reason, or buy houses that are too big for no reason.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like the society that's creating these like, this false narrative that when you buy these things, it makes you more successful and happier.
Well, and like it's like the same. Like, and housing's a perfect example. Like, especially like Calgary's a perfect example of this. Everyone moves really far out of the city because they all want to have these massive houses. Yeah. The reality is, like, even if you have a family, you don't need a huge house. Yes. Like, that's never been like a, if you have a house with a couple bedrooms and a kitchen and a living room, like, you don't need to have these like,
and it doesn't make you happier to have a big house.
Exactly. To have these 3,000, 4,000 square foot homes. It's like, why?
I know. Why are we obsessed with that?
I know. It's like, it's crazy to me. Like, I used to, but it's funny because I used to think this too. I was like, always like, oh, if I win the lottery,
you want a big house.
I'm going to buy fucking, even though this is the stupidest thing to do, buy this huge house. Now, like, though, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing the lack of importance of that. And I'm like, actually, what I would do, or what I want to do is I want to get a place in a really nice area that's very walkable, all of that kind of stuff, but a small place, like something cozy that I can like design and do something cool with. But it's like a small place, like Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. And that I would be so happy in there. Like, I don't need a 5,000 square foot house with like a swimming pool and a tennis court and all this bullshit.
In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere, we have to drive 20 minutes to get anywhere. Like, I'm like, no, thank you. Like, that's not an enjoyable, like, day to day, your life is not going to be that enjoyable. Like, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, totally.
Like, maybe, don't get me wrong, maybe if we were in another lockdown, a house like that, you know, the celebrities, like, woe is me, I'm in my, like, 10,000 square foot house with a pool, but, like, you know, because, like, at least then I was like, okay, I'll just be poolside, you know? But other than that select situation, really, like, I would enjoy, like, I would love to get,
and it's also so shitty for the environment.
Exactly. Like, I would love to get like a little tiny, like, you know, the little bungalows, like
you love a bungalow.
I do. I love, but like a little, like those little ones. Yeah. Because they're so cute. They are really cute. And you can like do a lot inside of them.
Yeah,
like, you
totally.
Can tear walls down and make it room. Like, exactly.
Especially in Canada, I feel like we have so much, like, especially in Calgary, like all of our homes are big. Yeah. So it's like, we're so spoiled. Like when I went to London, I was like, holy fuck, everything is miniature. Yeah.
Everything's so much smaller. I think living abroad and living in Europe as well taught me though that I don't need that much space.
I know.
Like, I'm like, I don't really need to have like this giant place.
I know. Like, that actually brings me up to one last thing I want to talk about, which I saw again, TikTok. Fucking how it's taking over our lives. TikTok. But this girl was talking about how like we need to redirect the conversation about climate change, because first of all, I think it's like, I don't know, 70% of emissions, I'm just like throwing out a number there, but like a large percent of emissions are coming from like 10% of companies or something like that. Yeah. You know, like a very small number of companies are basically responsible for the majority of our climate change crisis and the global warming situation. But also, you know, but we're always told like, okay, we need to recycle, we need to stop, you know, and I fully believe in those things. And of course we always preach about a plant-based diet. Yeah. And I do believe that because demand and supply are important, if we lower the demand from the consumer side, it does make a difference later on down the line.
Yeah, it's literally the only
thing
that
we can do.
Exactly. It's the only thing we can do to fight capitalist corporations.
Exactly. Because us, like, you know, being like, you greedy corporations, that hasn't done anything. No. So anyways, I do believe in individual changes as well, obviously. But another thing that she brought up, which ties into something we talked about a couple weeks ago, which was the whole like Kylie Jenner private jet situation. Yeah. So this got brought up, and like somebody like wrote the emissions, and it is crazy, like the amount of emissions that like this private jet causes for like maybe one trip or something was like could be just as much as like a year or something of a regular person's, you know, emission. Like again, I could be exaggerating, you can probably look this up, but it was just astronomical, like thousands times more. Like so the amount that Kim Kardashian, for example, would, you know, would spend in terms of her carbon footprint is so much more than the regular person. So even if like we always talk about, like, even if we did something but like everyone else was not doing it, then it wouldn't matter. So like even if like 500 people like reduce their emissions by like half, if she goes on one trip on a private jet, it negates it. Yeah. So these are things that we need to keep talking about. But this is why we need to keep talking about it, so that not only do we change, but we need to put pressure on these. And it's not just Kim Kardashian again. Yeah. It's like this long list of celebrities that have these fucking private jets.
But also not just celebrities, Rose. Like the
mega rich wealthy people. Exactly. Rich people. Yeah. But again, I do think that the reason why we put such, you know, emphasis on Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner is that they're women and they're visible.
Yeah.
I think they're women.
But also I think that's part of it too. But I also think like if you think about it as well, like a lot of like really wealthy like business people and stuff, they might travel private jet, helicopters. We don't know about them because they're not. They're not in the limelight. Like, exactly. Like you remember like one of I think it was like a friend of a friend got flown to Russia. Right. To work for that businessman. Right. Private jet. That guy flies private jets everywhere. Would have never known. And these
people actually have less of an excuse, because like I can kind of understand celebrities because they're obviously very famous. Yeah. And maybe it's like a security thing. You know, maybe they don't want to, you know, like I can kind of understand because they get recognized. And but, you know, people get recognized all the time. Fucking have a security team. Exactly. Go on first class. You're fine.
And fly with your security. Like, exactly. I mean, is that what needs to happen? I don't know.
I know. And then, but then these billionaires that don't really have a name, a face to a name. Yeah. They could fly first class, but they don't.
Yeah, I know. Because they want their private jet and stuff. But you're right. Like, there's like so many things, other things that we could be doing or putting pressure on different areas that would actually have much larger impacts. but they're not talked about.
I know.
It is like
because we all want to live that life.
Exactly.
It's always glamorized, this like private jets and giant mansions and having 20 cars, like Jeffree Star doing his fucking, house tour. And like, how many cars does that man have?
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And then we I know. We glamorize it and we look up to it.
Yeah, and we're like, that's what I want to do. I want to be that person.
I want 20 pools. I want a tennis court. And I'm just one person.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's funny because like I feel like I've matured because a long time ago the old me like would have thought the same.
Oh yeah.
I would have been like, oh my god, I want that. Whereas now like in all reality, I wouldn't mind having one nice vehicle.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a brand new car. It could be like just a nice and like a cute little bungalow somewhere.
Yeah.
The rest of my time is going to be like doing other things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Activities, lifestyle, all that stuff.
Exactly.
But like, seeing Jeffree Star's mansion now, I'm just like, oh god, like,
I know.
It doesn't feel like a home. Like,
I know.
It's like you're at some kind of like convention center.
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't feel homey at all.
Oh, it's horrible. Like it's not nice. Like I mean,
yeah,
it would be like nice as like a hotel to go like stay there.
Yeah.
But to live there, I'm like, oh.
I know, it's crazy. I also I think when I was young, I would watch like The Rich Life of whatever, and I was like obsessed with that show. Like the what was it called?
What was it called?
It was on like
MTV Cribs.
MTV. No, it wasn't MTV Cribs, but I also watched that.
My Super Sweet 16.
No, but they had this show where basically it was like a narrator, and they talked about like, and each episode was like a different celebrity. It was like the rich, fabulous life of Britney Spears, and they would show like her houses and basically all the things that she spends money on. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my god, these people are so rich, man. Yeah. And now I'm like, ugh.
I know.
Like it's gross. And also like, none of it looks good to me because I know they're miserable.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But this is it. You know that they're like, a lot of them are
they're trying to fill something.
Exactly. A lot of them are like, not saying this is all celebrities, but like a lot of those people living those lives, even the people that aren't celebrities that are like these billionaires, like they're on like antidepressants, they're on all this stuff. I mean, Squid Game is a perfect narrative of that as well. The old man that's like, I'm bored. Like I'm fucking bored. Yeah. That's why I'm creating this like Squid Game and doing all this stuff. Because what else do I do with my time?
Exactly.
So
anyways, say it, Daniel.
On that positive note, guys.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Once again, we are going to be doing that Patreon exclusive where I will be spilling some hot tea. Oof. So if you want to join in on that, you can subscribe to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. All of the perks and everything will be we've already talked about it. Yeah. Ad-free. Bonus episode earlier than everyone else. It's great.
It's great.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at The Savage Podcast. Yeah. And of course, wherever you are listening to our podcast, give us a little rating of 5 stars. Yeah. Tell your friends, tell your family. And what else, Daniel?
And if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much again for watching and your time this week. And we will be back next week with another episode.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.